Tim, Dirty Bird Means. Congratulations, Tim, on your big win this past weekend. I really enjoyed your fight.
Right on. Thanks, guys. How's it going?
Good. How about yourself? How you feeling?
It's going. Getting ready to fly home. Been in Vegas long enough. It's time to go back to get to the real world, you know?
Vegas is one of those cities where I was a SoCaler. I lived in Santa Ana, the mean streets of Santa Ana, California. And so as a young man, I'd go to Vegas. It would chew me up and spit me out, because gambling and partying and everything. So I know you don't get to do much of that, but you do go through a brutal weight cut in 100-degree weather, and then you get in a fucking fight. I mean, Vegas must honestly chew you guys up and spit you out. It's just a lot easier when you're going home with 2 checks.
It's a lot nicer taking all your money home, so it's a little brutal on the fact that we're in a sauna and we're cutting weight, and then we have to walk outside, and it's 108 outside, getting to the next, lobby or the next car or whatever. But for the most part, I feel like I come to Vegas, and even in losses and fights, I get to leave and go home and put food on the table. So I feel like I win all around. So can't complain there.
What's it like when you get picked up at the airport and you do some hugging and kissing for the family? And what's it like when you walk through the door? I mean, do you just make a beeline for your king-size bed and just take like a 4-hour nap and say, leave me alone, and then it's family time?
The family's cool. They meet me at the door when I get home. So, the kids are probably wanting to play some basketball or play some cornhole or something. So you got to tell the kids, they give you a quick minute, and then, it's right back to the everyday life stuff. Usually my mother-in-law's cooked something. She came to Vegas this time and is hanging out. But, I got a supportive family, and it always feels great to get home.
How can you even shoot baskets, man? Aren't your hands hurting?
You have to keep up with the kids, man. You can't let them see you're in pain, or they'll gobble you up and spit you out,
I got you. All right. Well, listen, it was a great fight. And, he had some moments too, credit to him. But you won those first 2 rounds. You secured those first two rounds. And then in the 3rd round, you did have to make an adjustment. I think a lot of that just came from all the experience of 20-plus fights at the highest level, fighting all kinds of different types of fighters. You had to fight on instinct, used a lot of experience, and you were able to get that W. That was very important. A lot of other fighters would not have been able to shake that off.
Yeah, man, I've been in those gunfights where I tried to punch my way out of being hurt before, and it didn't pan out. So had to go back to the drawing board and get back to the lab and correct those errors. And I was able to do it. Saturday night. Dalby's was on a 5-fight win streak. He beat guys that I had lost to, and I wanted to get all those wins back in one night. So I think you hit it on the head where veteran fights, number of times in the cage. I found out after the fact that it was I was one of 50 fighters that have 4 hours of fight time in the cage. So I think all that time really helped me out in there. I felt more calm and composed than ever. But, in the 3rd round, he caught me in the nose pretty good. My nose looks pretty good today, not that crooked. But, had to kind of weather the storm there. And it wasn't like he was trying to disengage and let go of the clinch anyway. So it made it easy to recover. But at the same time, he was throwing me off with his breathing. Like, sounded like he was tired right away in the fight with these big, deep, excessive breaths he was taking. But then he'd have these bursts and 5, 6, 7, 8 punch combos that he would throw out, and it was catching me off guard. So, he's a dangerous guy, and we just had to keep a game face on and stay calm.
Tim, you've been to our studio before at Mandalay Bay, and the sports book is right there. And I particularly remember a memory of sitting with a bunch of casual fans, people that just kind of came in and were there to watch basketball, but they happened to see some UFC, right? And your fight came on, and I remember their way of watching a fight was, which one of these guys is going to be tougher? And I remember explaining to them, watch this guy, because you're one of the guys that I think does a lot of thinking during fights, and you're very good at adjustments and setting things up. And I was trying to explain to them things that you were doing before you were doing them. So I guess my question to you is, because you've logged in all this time, when you're in a fight, how much of that is instinct and how much is that setting guys up, thinking about things? How much thinking is going on in that cage for you?
I used to think a lot, and then I'd get behind on the pace and be behind on pulling the trigger. And now we've put in so much time in our craft and, you know, the clinch work and takedowns and punches that you're just on autopilot. You're doing your best. Everything that we've worked on in the gym, you're putting into the game plan in the cage. I kind of fall off task at sometimes because it's so easy to get in those brawls and want to hear the fans cheer and want to hear like at Apex, you can hear Daniel Cormier and Paul Fielder and those guys hooting and hollering from their stand. So you want to get people on their feet and get them excited. But at the same time, we've worked months and months and hours of sticking to this game plan. And these last, 4 or 5 fights that I've had where I was able to do exactly what we've been working on in the lab and at the gym and stuff. I feel like I've turned a real corner with that stuff, with being able to be patient and being able to apply my tools and apply what my coaches have been showing and what we've been working on as a team. And I can hold my head up high with knowing that everything that we're doing at the gym, I'm starting to apply in the cage on fight night.
If you were to look at yourself from, say, 4 years ago, what would you say is the main difference in Tim Means going into his fights and then after the fights?
I'm calmer. I'm not fighting quite as angry anymore. And, if I drop a dude and knock him down, I'm not running in zealous and trying to get this crazy finish. Trying to be a surgeon. I like to think I'm a doctor in there and, might not have got these cool accolades in school or whatever to be a veterinarian or whatever, but I feel like I do cool surgery and, I feel I'm still an exciting fighter, even getting a little older now. So people tune in and it makes me feel good when I have the respect of my peers and stuff. So I would say listening and my ability to apply the information now would be a huge turnaround.
Now, when would you like to perform surgery again? You had an interesting way of phrasing things when you talked about you just want to fight, and so the name doesn't necessarily, you don't think about that as much, but you want to keep cash in check. So I know that you're down to fight. How soon do you want to fight? Because now your body's had at least 36 hours to decompress. So how soon would you like to fight? And then since then, have you thought of a name or anything, a certain card, anything like that?
Well, they gave me a mandatory 21-day rest period, just it was a violent fight. And, I got a couple little marks on my face and my forehead and stuff. But, I got buddies. My wife's getting ready for a title fight in boxing in Iowa here in about 6 weeks. I got some teammates that are fighting as well. I just got to get back, be a good teammate, help my people out like they helped me out in my fights. But hell, I think a fight with a guy like Nick Diaz would be fun as hell. He says he's willing to fight anybody, but he seems to be only chirping at the guys with big, huge names or whatever. But I've been doing this a long time, and if he wants a fun fight, I think that would be dynamite. And we'll see if we couldn't get that dude out of there real quick. He comes with a cool following and a lot of fans behind him or whatever. But it'll just be me and him locked in the cage. But anyone in the top 10, hell, anyone in the top 15, I saw Matt Brown won the other day. I'd like to get one of those fights back. He beat me here in Vegas. But I just feel I'm a completely different fighter than I was at those times. I'm calmer, cooler, better looking, and just, applying things and everything's kind of falling into place. So right now, I would like definitely a top 10 guy, top 15 guy.
That works for me, man. Just throwing it out in existence sometimes is what works. We just talked to Max Payne Griffin, and he was telling us about a fight that he won before, and he told Sean Shelby, how about Carlos Condit? It didn't happen right away, but maybe Shelby filed it mentally, and years later, an opportunity came up. He got the fight he wanted. It's a guy that he had watched the WEC, and now he gets to fight, a former WEC champ, former UFC interim champ. So he's ecstatic, So just throwing it in existence sometimes is awesome. So I'm down to watch 505 against 209. I'm down to watch, back with Matt Brown. Heck, I'd even watch the winner of Griffin and Condit, whatever. Just putting it out there. And I think another thing that's very important is timeline. So we just talked about somebody that fought in Brown and somebody that's fighting in Griffin. I think what's important is timeline. But I also know you love your kids, so hopefully you can enjoy the summer and maybe do something like in September or October too.
Yeah, we got I took over that wrestling program there in Moriarty. I'm the head coach there for the boys now, so we got a busy fall coming up, but the kids make it easy to train and make it easy to get to my own gym. I expect them to be in practice, so it's easy for me to lead by example. September, October would be cool to get another fight, but heck, the way things have been going, I get short notice calls quite often. So as long as my body's saying we're good, we're ready to go, we can make the weight, I'm ready to get in fun fist fights. So finish out the year with a bang, go into the wrestling season, do that stuff, get Brenda ready for her fight. So sky's the limits when it comes to getting into fist fights. You got, those nerves never go away when you're backstage, but learn how to control them and not have those adrenaline dumps, things like that. But there's nothing like fight night. Nobody can compare any job they do to like fight night. So I'm excited to still be getting to do this stuff and be getting to sit here and talk to you cool guys. So life is grand, my friends. Thank you, sir. And we always enjoy covering you pre and post fight, whether we can get them both or one of the two. We got to talk to the Dirty Bird, and I think we've been doing a lot of it. You've been in the UFC almost a decade. I think next year will be a decade. And these 20 fights that we talked about, some great moments on, pay-per-views and fight nights and Big Fox, ESPN. It's awesome. So keep doing your thing. Yeah. A lot of people know who you are. You deserve a lot of respect. And you've done a lot, especially in that welterweight division. I still remember you started off, I think, as a lightweight. Lightweight. That's crazy. That was a long time ago. Many skinny days ago. But now making weight and getting on those scales, I don't even know how that was happening, just because I was maybe 20, 19 years old, 22 years old, whatever. But those were unfun weight cuts. But hell, they leave impressive stories to tell, and just the fact I was able to get to that weight and meet some cool people and fight some cool guys. So I can't complain on those things. Congrats on your win and good luck to your wife in her boxing match. That's awesome, man. I appreciate it. A couple that both throw down. Yeah, she's a little meaner than I am. I'm glad she cooks dinner, so we're good. She means business too, huh? All right, I got you. Yeah, she's mean. All right. Thanks, Tim, for the time. Take care. Awesome. Later, guys. Thank you.